This is the us versus them mentality through the scope of Romeo and Juliet. I am Kyle. This is a human being. Speak, human being. Say your name, human being.
I'm Carissa. What are we doing, Kyle?
We're starting the presentation. Us against them is a false dichotomy, which is a situation where many groups are simplified into usually just two. We can see us versus them everywhere, from political alignment to gender, I guess. And us versus them is usually seen where it's preventing growth in society. Those being categorization, social identification, and social comparison. We subconsciously discriminate against others. We need to be better about how we treat others, especially when we are oversimplifying the number of groups involved, such as simplifying the over 600 ethnicities on Earth into just white and colored people, which prevented so much growth and hurt so many in the 19th and 20th centuries. Go ahead.
Nazi supremacy is an excellent example of us versus them mentality. It shows how the German race was considered the superior race in the eyes of Germany, the Nazis, and Hitler. They believed that Nazi Germany was destined to create the Aryan race, or the perfect race of human beings, consisting of tall humans who were white, blonde, and had blue eyes. During the 1930s, they began their reign and the spread of their beliefs. And in 1933, German physicians were permitted forced sterilizations on Jews, Roma, and people with disabilities, and various other races and peoples.
So for the unenlightened, what is a Roma?
A Roma is basically a gypsy. One of the major events that was part of the Nazi supremacy was the Holocaust. In 1941, the event where the Nazis were cleansing their population later became known as the Holocaust. The Nazis gathered over 6 million Jews and killed a total of about 6 million Jews as well. 3 million Jews that they killed were killed in concentration camps. Close to 1 million Jews were killed in the Auschwitz concentration camp, and including other races, including the Jews. 11 million people were killed during the time period where the Holocaust took place, and during World War II, close to 17 million were killed. Victims of the Nazis included Jews, Roma, Sinti. Both people were considered gypsies during this time period. They also targeted people with disabilities, male homosexuals, POWs or prisoners of war, Soviet Union citizens and prisoners of war, Polish citizens, and they also targeted twins to use for experiments. And most of them were children.
Yeah.
During my research with the twins, the Nazis ended up gathering 1,500 sets of twins, and only 200 individuals from the twin experiments actually survived out of 3,000.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run.
Fear me not.
No, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law to our sides. Let them begin.
I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear
it. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law on our side if I say A?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
But
What if you do, sir? I implore you. I serve as good a man as you.
No, better.
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow.
Part, fools!
What art thou drawn among these heartless hinds?
Do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage to part these men with me.
What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell on Montagues and thee. Have at thee, cowards!
What noise is this? Give me my longsword, ho!
A crutch! Why call you for a sword?
My sword, I say. Old Montague has come and flourishes his blade in spite of me. Thou villain Capulet, hold me not! Let me go! Down with
Thou
the
shalt
Montague!
not stir 1 foot to seek a foe.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to the peace, defenders of this neighbor-stained steel, will they not hear? What ho, you men, you beasts! The quench of the fire of your Christmas rage, with purple fountains oozing from your veins, on pain of torture, from those bloody hands spell your mistempered weapons to ground, and hear the sentence of your most prince. 3 civil brawls bred from Arany, roared by the old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by the brave beasoning ornaments to wield old Puritans, in the hands as old, cankered with truth, to part your cankered hate. If you disturb our streets again, the lives shall be forfeit of the peace. For this time, the rest depart away. You Capulet shall go along with me, and Montague comes this afternoon, to know our father's pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. One more, on pain of death, all men depart.
The us versus them scenario that we have is Republicans and Democrats, and the reason why this is a us versus them scenario is because there are 2 different sides of people that disagree and don't really like each other, and that's kind of like the same thing with the Capulets and Montagues, which are Romeo and Juliet's family, and they both didn't like each other for a long time before, and still didn't like each other presently, and had lots of fighting going on between their 2 families. So in 2019, when COVID started, we saw lots of conflict going on between the 2 parties because of the restrictions that we were having, and kind of them going back and forth on what we should do, what we shouldn't do, and it just caused lots of us versus them action happening, and like bickering and things like that. So since then, in 2020, crime rates went up more than 44%, and there were 218 additional murders, and in total 1,298 more lives lost than usual in the United States. So as we can see, whenever things can get more heated, other things can rise up as well. And Republicans and Democrats have not been rivals for a short amount of time. They've been rivals for a very long time, since the 1790s. And so it's kind of like the same thing with the Capulets and Montagues. They were rivals from an early time, and were still rivals during when Romeo and Juliet were kind of having their thing going on. And so when it comes to the us versus them scenarios, we have definitely lots of fighting, and it's never their fault, and it's never their fault, and it's always just who's right. So, and that's pretty much it.
Despite being a massive issue, we on an individual level can help stop this harmful mentality. Dr. Nicole Limpkin has provided 6 solutions that are usable in everyday life.
Supportive and friendly competition. See each other as individuals, and not as a group.
Transparency. Learn about and understand each other.
Rearranging competitive groups. Work with a variety of people.
Intergroup cooperation. Maintain shared responsibilities.
Develop team spirit. See shared interests.
All in it together, equal and shared responsibility. Today, people constantly struggle to go through life due to discrimination. Each of us on an individual level are responsible for making the world better for future generations.
We need to stop struggling through the over 300-year-old issue of racial discrimination in the United States and the endless sexism women constantly face. We need to treat people like people, not vicious beasts that want nothing more than to see us.
1. We must avoid falling into the trap of us versus them. Us versus them consists of 3 stages, with those being categorization, social identification, and social comparison. Using these thoughts, we subconsciously discriminate against
You good?
What?
There goes the video.
I can edit that out. We subconsciously us versus them has 3 stages. Those stages are categorization.
You are failing so miserably. I love this.
Us versus them has 3 stages. Those being categorization, social. God damn it! Social. What the? Social. What is social? Us versus them has 3 stages, those being categorization, social identification. We got bloopers!
We have to keep this part for bloopers.
We are.
Oh, without a doubt, this is hilarious. I love this.
Us.
You're failing so bad. It's amazing.
Us versus them has 3 stages, those being categorization, social identification. I got it. I can't do it. Okay. Us versus them has go. I can cut this part out or put it in as a blooper.
Blooper, definite.
Okay, ready? Breathe in, breathe out. Go.
The Nazi supremacy is that.
Just keep going until you get it.
Nazi supremacy is an excellent example of us versus them mentality. It shows how the Nazis thought that they were superior to all of the races in the world and how they were destined to literally create the Aryan race, or as Hitler put it, the perfect race of humans.
And just be clear, that was the tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed people.
I didn't get to that, Kyle. You interrupted me.
You're welcome.
I hate you.
I bet you do.
I'm restarting this.
Okay.
One of the major events that caused,
That is part of.
Yes, one of the major events that was part of the Nazi supremacy was the Holocaust. In 1941, Nazis began to cleanse their population. These...
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I'm making mistakes, Kyle. I'm making mistakes.
Over 6 million people died.
Close to 17 million were killed. Next slide, please.
Okay? I did.
Ah, yes, I see. My bad, Kyle.
I was on top of it and everything. Anywho,
Yes, I'm stupid.
that we can agree on.
Yes, we're both stupid, and yet we somehow have the Academic Excellence Award.
Okay, I'm just going to end this recording and start. 3, 2, 1. We
We must
avoid
avoid
falling into the trap
into
of
the
us
trap of
versus
others
them.
versus
Let's try that like 3 more times, and I'll just take out the best one. 3,
Yes.
2, 1. We must
must
avoid
avoid
falling into
falling
the
into the
trap
trap
of
of
us
us
versus
versus
them. 3, 2, 1. We must avoid falling into the trap of us versus them. One more
Can't
time.
do this.
3, 2, 1. We must
We
avoid
must
falling
avoid
into the trap of
into the
us
trap of
versus
us
them.
versus them.
That last one sounded good.
No, it didn't, though.
I'm pretty sure that's all of it. I'll just... So, yes. This is... Words blurt out. This is our bibliography. That's not how that's pronounced. Bibliography. Yes, yes, we got stuff from WebMD and United States Holocaust
Don't you
Museum.
read it, Kyle.
Shut up! Okay. Well,
Okay, I should probably get going.
yep.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
Suck, Carissa!